Hello again guys, so in this video we'll look at the specification paper B. Let's just read the question first. It says the number of patients are stored, the names of patients are stored in a one-dimensional array called patient, and this is of type string. Okay, there's also a separate two-dimensional array called readings, and this stores the latest data recorded about each patient. The array already contains the readings taken by a nurse for each patient. And while this data is temperature measured to one decimal place, and pulse rate, which will be a whole number. Temperature reading should be in the range 31.6 to 37.2, inclusive. So when it says inclusive, this means that these values will be valid. Okay, so we want to check greater than or equal to 31.6. And less than or equal to 37.2. Now, if it was exclusive, this would mean these values would be invalid. So it means it has to be bigger than 31.6 and less than 31.2. Inclusive is greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Pulse readings 55 to 100, and again that's inclusive. There's also a hospital number given to each patient, and this is the index for both arrays. That's going to be a value between 1 and 1000. And when the data for a patient is checked, a warning is given if any of the readings are out of range, and if both readings are out of range, then a severe warning is given. So we want a program where it will take the hospital number as a parameter. This is going to be a procedure. It will check if the number is valid, so between 1 and 1000. It will output an error message and exit the procedure if the number is not valid. However, if it is valid, it will output the patient's name. Then it will output normal readings if both readings are within range. Output warning if one of the readings is out of range. And if it's a pulse that's out of range, it will say pulse. If it's the temperature, it will say the temperature reading is out of range. Then we want severe warning. The names of the two readings, pulse and temperature, if both readings are out of range. Then we'll just exit. And we can use either pseudocode or program code, and we need to add comments to explain how our code works. And as always, we don't need to initialize the data in these arrays, readings and patients. So let's just go to the app again. This one, while there's a huge amount of data, we've got 1,000 patients, 1,000 readings, which you can see here. Now, if you want this data, again, go to the exam questions, find IG Specification paper B, then you can find this test data. So I think the first thing we want to do then, here, all we need is just one procedure, and then everything should happen within this one procedure. So let's just go ahead and create this. Let's call it maybe get patient details. This is then going to take hospital number. Maybe just hospital num. That's going to be an integer. And then let's go end procedure. Just so we don't forget. Now the first thing we want to do, we just want to check that this number or this parameter is between 1 and 1000. That's going to be inclusive. So let's say here. Let's say if hospital num is greater than or equal to 1, and also hospital num is less than or equal to 1000, then it's going to be valid. However else, here we're just going to display a warning message. So let's say invalid hospital number, and then let's just output that. And let's tell them should be in range. And let's say 1 to 1000. So I think that should be fine. So when the data for a patient. So here basically we can just have some booleans. I guess that's one way we can do it. So I'm just going to say here, let's go valid temp, valid temperature. And then here let's go valid pulse. And these can just be booleans. So what we're going to do, we could have an if statement like this. So for example, we go, what is that going to be? 31.6, 37.2. So we say, and hang on, so this is going to be readings. So we say, right, if readings, this is going to be hospital num, right, so that's the sort of patient index, and then I think it's right, temperature first. So yeah, temperature is column 1. Right, we want to check if this is greater than or equal to 31.6, right, and and readings, and again this will be hospital num, right, so this will get both readings, right, and again this is index 1, okay, the temperature, right, okay, and if that is less than or equal to, was it 37.2? Yeah, okay, right, well then what we can do, right, then we can go valid temperature, and we'll just assign it equal to be true. Right, yeah, else we can actually just go valid temperature. Right, and then we'll just assign it to be false, and then just end if. So we could do it like this, okay, just with an if statement. However, we can actually just shorten this just to one line. So if we copy this, let's just remove the indentation there. Right, let's kind of delete everything. So yeah, we should be able to do it just like this. So we say valid temperature, and then we'll set it equal to this. Okay, and this is just the condition. Well, yeah, the temperature should be greater than or equal to 31.6. Okay, right, it seems I also deleted that one. Right, okay, and less than or equal to 37.2. Yeah, okay, right, so this should work. And then we can also do the same just for the pulse. So let's go here, readings, all right, again, it's going to be hospital num. Right, this is going to be indexed, well, column 2. And I think, well, this has to be greater than or equal to 55. Right, and then well, readings again, hospital num, right, also column 2. And, okay, there we go. Yeah, this should be, okay, 55. Right, so greater than or equal to 55, yeah, and less than or equal to 100. And I mean, yeah, then basically we can just have some if statements. And there might be a kind of better way to do this, like rather than having 4 different if statements. But I mean, let's just try. So we can go, well, like if valid pulse equals true, right, and if valid temperature equals true. Right, then what do we want to output? I guess just normal. Yeah, so normal readings. And I mean, like honestly, we could just go end if like this, and then we just have another if statement. Because here they're all going to be distinct, right? It's not going to be able to be where kind of both of them are. Yeah, it's not going to be where, for example, like valid pulse equals true and valid temperature equals true. And another situation where valid pulse equals true and valid temperature equals false, right? It's not going to be able to be sort of 2 of the if statements. So yeah, we could have 4 kind of independent if statements, right? I mean, or we could just have a nested if like this. So here, let's say if valid pulse equals true, and let's go here, valid temperature. Right, valid temperature equals false. And then what do we want to say here? We want to say warning. So let's just say, yeah, warning, and then pulse, maybe pulse out of range. Right, and then we're going to have another else. Right, let's just end if. So this one is going to be what valid pulse equals false, right, and valid temperature equals true. Okay, and hang on. Okay, yeah, this one should be temperature. Right, and then, yeah, okay, like this. Right, and then so here, yeah, here we just want the pulse warning. Yeah, if I can type. Right, and then so this one here, this else, well, here we've got true and true. We've also got true and false. We've got false and true. So this else is going to be false and false. Okay, when they're both, when they're both kind of out of range. Right, so then we just want severe warning. Severe warning. Alright, so I think that should be everything. Right, and then, yeah, we also want to output the patient's name as well. So let's go here, and then, right, let's go output, is it, yeah, patients, I guess. And then this is going to be hospital num. Alright. Yeah, and then I guess now, well, let's just test this. So let's go call, and let's go, what do we call it? Get patient details. Right, then we'll give this the parameter 1. And I mean, let's just try with like a couple of patients just to make sure it seems to be working. Okay, so yeah, let's go all the way up. Right, so the first one were Alejandro, and then Ayumi and Cecilia. And then yeah, we'll just check here. Right, so here, yeah, this is okay, and yeah, it says normal readings. Right, the next one says pulse and temperature out of range. Yes, because I guess here the temperature is too high. And then yeah, this is also below 55. Okay, that seems to be working. Then I guess for Cecilia, it's also saying the same. I mean, let's also try 4, okay, because 4 it should just say, I guess, temperature out of range. And then yeah, maybe. And then maybe we can try, is it 7? Yeah, so let's try 4 and 7, because that should be the 2 other conditions. Yeah, okay, so this seems to be working right, temperature out of range and then pulse out of range. So, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, that one is quite short, you know, compared to some of the other ones. Now, obviously, this is only the specification paper, and yeah, it seems like maybe they realised this is a bit too easy. And yeah, the actual exam questions, you know, tend to be a little bit more difficult. But alright, what we can do then, well, again, let's just add some comments quickly. So let's say this one, check hospital number is valid. Right, and then here, yeah, let's say check temperature and pulse, yeah, are within normal range. Well, I mean, obviously just outputting the name, and then let's just say, yeah, and then maybe output, I don't know, yeah, patient status or something, for pulse and temperature readings. Okay, yeah, temperature readings. Alright, and then yeah, I guess that's fine. And then, well, let's say, yeah, calling for, you know, I don't know, 2 test patients. Alright guys, so hopefully that video makes sense, and as always, any questions, right, ask in the comments, ask in the Discord group, and hope to see you again in the next video.